In this tutorial, I'm going to explain what is SHAMP, how to go to the PHPMyAdmin, how to create the database using PHPMyAdmin interface, how to create the database using MySQL command, how to create the tables for the databases. Welcome to WordPress with Riffaz. In my previous tutorial, I explained you how to install XAMPP in your macOS. In this tutorial, I'm going to explain you how to create database using the XAMPP in your localhost. XAMPP is a free open source PHP development environment where you can create databases dynamically or PHP sites dynamically or PHP app or anything, and you can test it in your localhost until you move it to your live site. I'm opening my web browser here. Before that, I have to launch the XAMPP. I'm going to my launch page and opening my XAMPP. Okay, if you see that status is red, so it's not working and you don't see the IP address. So if you go to the localhost, you will not see it's not running. So all you have to do is start your XAMPP server. If I want to go to the localhost, I have to start localhost 8080 as well. That's also I explained in my previous tutorial. So let's start it. Localhost 8080, then come back to service, start. Okay, it's automatically started Apache, MySQL and Pro FTPD. We don't need the Pro FTPD anyhow, it's running, no harm. Go back to Chrome, refresh the page. Now we see the startup page for your XAMPP or your localhost. So how to create the database here? The easiest method for beginners is just click on the PHPMyAdmin and it will take you to the PHPMyAdmin. There are two methods to create the database in a localhost. First, you can simply click on the new icon. You can type your database name here, like database 1, create it. Okay, now you can see the database 1 here that we just created. Or you can simply go to the SQL. If you are fluent with SQL commands, you can use the SQL commands to create databases, tables, or any query you can run here. So I'm going to show you how to create the database using the MySQL command. The command is create database. Let's name it database 2. And then click on go. Okay, voila. Now if you see on the left side, you can see the database 2. So database 2 has been created successfully using your SQL command. And then the next step, you have to create the table with an empty database. You don't inserting or deleting data. So if you want to create table, you can just name your table here, or you can use the SQL method. All these tutorials are to explain rookie level users or beginner level. So I'm going to use normally the interfaces here, user interfaces here in WordPress or in XAMPP or in PHPMyAdmin, because it will be easier to understand for a starter or a beginner. But I always recommend you to use MySQL command if you are a programmer or coder. That will improve your coding skill. I'm creating table 1 in the database 1. So they're gonna be number of columns it's just for testing purpose. So I'm going to put it to go. You can see it's created the table here. You can see server is localhost and then database 1 here, table is table 1 is the table name, and we can give the name like ID integer. Normally ID should be primary key and auto increment, and then here we can give the name varchar. and it's gonna be 3 and it's gonna be 30 for an example. Okay, that's all. The details are correct, and I'm going to serve it. So when I serve it, I can see on my left side in PHPMyAdmin panel is database 1 created. Inside that there's a table created, table 1. Inside that, if you come to the structure part, you can see there are 2 columns here, ID and then name. If you go to the browse, you don't see any results here, just the column names, ID and name, because we don't put any data add to the table. Structure is correct here. This is how you create the table or database in your localhost using XAMPP. That's all, folks. I want to thank you for watching my video until the end. Do subscribe. Don't hesitate to ask if you have any doubts in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer them. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video.